Alright guys, part 2. Alright, before I get into the moves we were continuing at from part 1, there was a few things I forgot to mention in the first part, so I'm going to go ahead and cover them now. I forgot to mention standing 3 and then 4. I mentioned 1 and 2, but I forgot to mention those. Okay, so just real quick. Standing 3 is really good poke from afar against tall characters like Marduk or any characters that stick out. Kind of like Jinpachi and those characters who kind of stick out far. This move will actually get really good on the hurt box. It's really good to attack with that. Now, it's a 13 frame move. You can either, it goes in stance, so of course you can hold it back. It's pretty good poke to use in and out. Like you kind of like jab to kind of get in and whiff and then use 3 to get in and out. Okay, so you have 3 and then you have 3 back. So 3 is negative. If you do 3 like this and you go into stance. On block it's -1 and it's +8 on hit. So if you land that, you get in stance and you have +8 on hit, so you get the option to mix up with Scarecrow. And on block it's -1, so you still get a chance, but it's more risky. Okay, so that's pretty much 3, and then there's 3 back. Okay, 3 back. Of course, you know when you change into back, it's not always good for your frame data. But it also depends on how far you are. If you don't want to finish, it is also going to depend. Same thing when I mentioned in the first part with down 4-3. Down 4-3 is good, and back is only what -1 on -4 on hit or something like that. But you look at your range, it's still good. Instead of being over here having to try to risk attack, you can go like this, and then you mix a different poke in there. But it all depends on how you want to play the matchup. Okay, so 3 back. 13 frame startup. This is now -8 on block if you hold back, and it's it's +2 on hit instead of +8. So definitely not really a better option there, you know. Then standing 4. This move I didn't really find any frame data on it. It's pretty decent for a poke. Counter hit, it's pretty good magic 4. I guess you could just follow them, make a side roll. One good thing I do have with it, this is on block, Standguard, right? Okay. One good thing I do have with it is if you use down forward 1+2, which is this move, on counter hit, if they not side roll. If you use that as a side roll, you can kind of catch them with some attacks. That move's very good on Oki, but I'll get to that in a little bit. But I believe if they side roll, I think it's right. If they try to tech roll right after the magic 4, you can use it to kind of chase them, and you get like that move to kind of check them on block. And that move's only -10. Okay, so let me go back to side roll. So yeah, that's 3 and 4. I also forgot to mention about down forward 1-2-1 and forward 2-3-4 and 1+2. I forgot to mention things about these moves. Okay, so down forward 1-2-1. I mentioned as much as I could about it, but it is a dead button string. So you could do 1-2 loud ass next button, and they think the other button's gonna come out, and then you can throw them. Well, that's on hit. So block, and you can throw, or you can get option mix up. Just make them think that other button's gonna come out, or you can be sneaky with it and do dead button and then delay. Let me see, like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to do it that way, but. Because the delay is not like too long on it. Like she doesn't have like very long to delay it, so you have to dead button like quick. Like that. Interesting, just to throw them off, Okay, so that's what I'm going to mention about that. Also, with down forward 1-2-1 and forward 2-3-4, these moves are key for your wall combos. So let me go ahead and try to show you a sample of that right now. Yeah, see in that combo. One way to do it is down for 1 and then down for 1-2-1 again. And there are some combos that won't work on, so you have to do down for 1-2-1 without the extra down for 1. Another way to do that on a longer stage is to extend it with up forward 1, and I'll get to that when I talk about that move. And then of course, like I mentioned, like that up forward 1 is another way to extend your combos. And then that move is different. Yeah, let me see if I can show a combo with that. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, you can do like that on certain combos. But yeah, Another thing I wanted to mention about forward 2-3. I said forward 2-3 back is not good in open ground, but it is really important in your combos. When you do forward 2-3 and hold back, you can change your options up with forward 2-3 as a combo. So you can do like this and do forward 2-3 hold back and then do 1+2, which is what I wanted to mention about 1+2. This move is the natural bound. Oh, outside of being hit, obviously. But like you can just go like this and then a bound. It does not bound if they roll. Just to let you know, like in case you're trying to use it as like a tech catch, it hits them, but it does not bound. But yeah, that's the other option. So you can like launch and hold back and then do a bound. And then of course the other option is just do forward 2-3 and then do Scarecrow 3+4 to finish the bound that way. And I'll talk about Scarecrow 3+4 more when I get to that one. But those are two different combo options that need to be important to your combo game. And a lot of times, forward 2-3 hold back and then 1+2 is really good to get your opponent near the wall. Any combo, but it's just very important to mix those options up a lot. I think that was the dead button strings, 1+2. I mentioned 3 and 4. Okay, so which move did we leave off on? Yeah, 2-2, 1+2. Okay, yeah, dead button strings all around. Dueling Centaurs, Spook already talked about that. So I talked about this move, and I mentioned that it's 14 frames, but you won't use it as a Punisher because the 2 does not follow up. The counter hit is alright, but you won't get the counter hit too much. You mainly just want to use it just to hold the 1 and just crouch cancel options and whatnot. That's a good way to kind of rush your opponent down. And like I said, the 1 can be like delayed if you hold it like that. So instead of doing like this, you can kind of like just delay it a little bit. I don't know, but that move's still negative on block. So all right, so moving on, down for 1+2. This move you've already seen in that really cool wall trick that I showed you earlier. Okay, so this move is -10 on. Oh, why did she block that? Standing guard. Let me try it again. It's too slow. That's why. To put him in block. Okay, but this move, I don't know. You gotta see it on block, and I guess that the jab doesn't have a whole lot of blocks done there. But okay, anyway, yeah, this move here is really interesting. Mid attack she has. What I like about it is you see how low to the ground she gets with her hand. It looks like she's gonna go low, and the only other character I've seen in the game with a mid that looks like that is Kazuya. Okay, so yeah, that's a mid attack. You can also see if I get back, her hands have the wind. It's a tracking move. This move is also really important in Oki game. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you a sample of that real quick. Let's say I did counter attack down 3, and I did that. If I was to delay a little bit, like sidestep, you could tack catch it from the ground. It's also really good in a lot of situations. Let me take side roll off. It's also really good in a lot of situations to catch wake-up attacks. That's not a good example. Let me see. Oh, I have a good example for it. Let me see. You can dash up and bait the wake-up attack to come out. And you can do like that, and it floats them like that, so you can get a bound with your 1+2. Otherwise than that, it is pretty good to use by the wall in a lot of tricks. Like if you get your opponent, let me see if I can do. Let me see if I can show you. Not a good example. I was just getting crazy there, but yeah, you can use this to really catch wake-up attacks. No, I meant to down for 1, but yeah, yeah. So it's not too good of an option. It's very risky in open ground. It's there to use. You'll catch your opponent with it every once in a while, but you want to really use it on Oki attacks. Like you want to kind of just fluster your opponent. Oh, that's a good example, but I just messed up the attack. Like that, you just really want to catch your opponent. Like if you know you're doing something wrong, and they're going to try to wake up kick or roll or side roll. It's a good way to check your options out when you're doing Oki attacks and sidestep with it. Like, let's say you do an attack like this. What is it? This I already showed you. I don't know why I did that with counter hit. It doesn't change the hits, but and like you know the thing's gonna hit, so you can like back up and then just catch it. You still get the punish. So it just depends on how you want to do it. And let's say, okay, like I'm not gonna wake up attack again. Your options are still there, and it's gonna track either way. So you go like this, and you see it doesn't hit. So you have to see what options your opponent's been using, and then you want to sidestep, and then you catch them on the ground. It's a good way to catch. It's really good by the wall too, as I mentioned. Okay, so more important, I can't show you this in this game. It's really hard to do. In Tekken 6 I could have showed you, but this move also can catch opponents spring rolling forward. It's kind of hard to show it, but if she uses this move, like right around the area where they spring forward, you know that spring, they roll back and do 1+2 and spring forward to hit you in the mid attack. If you're chasing your opponent down and you know you're nowhere near them, so they're going to use that to get towards you. If you use this move at the right time, you get underneath it and hit him, and it does float him. You don't get like a bound combo, but you just you get a few attacks in there just to hit him for doing that. It's not something that'll happen in a fight often, but you can use it. It's just the training mode in this game is a little different than Tekken 6, where in Tekken 6 I could have used a spring roll as an example, but in this game I can't. It's a little bit harder to show it. But yeah, you can use it to catch spring rolls if you're baiting them out. I mean, of course you can just block them, but this is also, it's risky, but it is pretty cool, and you get some good damage from it if you land it. So that's pretty much the only thing to really mention about that move. It is, I forgot to mention the frames and everything. It's -10 on block, so it's a pretty good option to get in and cover space. Like I said, it's semi-safe on block, it's -10. It does track like I mentioned. Really strong on Oki in a lot of situations, not only on counter hits, but you can use it in a lot of attempts to chase your opponent down and use it to bait out wake-up attacks or by the wall. I don't know, I'm kind of sounding repetitive right now, but let's see, is there something I'm missing about this move? I forgot, okay, yeah, I forgot to mention the startups. It's 36 frame startup and it's -10 on block. And it just knocks down like that naturally, don't worry about a counter hit. Alright, any other moves? Down 1-1. This move is 12 frames. I didn't mention it in 12 frame punishes because the move has a slight delay in it, but it does not fully combo, and it does not punish as well. So, let me see. I was going to try to show a 12 frame example, but let me see if I can show you. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to have Zafina do down forward 1 and hold back. Now down forward 1 is a 13 frame attack, which means you can still punish with 12 frames. So I'll show you real quick. Oh, do it again. Do it again. As you can see, oh duh, it's 13 frame startup, but it's -5 on block. Sorry, wrong attack. Okay, what can I punish with? That's 12 frames. Let's say this move. I'll talk about this move later, but it's something I can think of right now. Okay. Okay. Now you see that? That's 12 frame punish. The move itself is not. I'll get to that move when I get to it. But I'm going to do this and I'm going to hold back. Now you'll see. See, it does not punish. It's not a full combo. So you don't want to use that as a 12 frame punish. So the only real way to use this move is to really risk it. You gotta use the delay if you want to. On counter hit, it does pretty decent damage. Just about 40. You can follow up with it. It doesn't work as a combo, but you can use it to kind of, use maybe back 1+2 or down 3 to catch an opponent, moving around on the ground. You can also use the move I just showed you, which is down for 1+2. You use that to catch and move in. But otherwise than that, down 1-1 is not really too good of a move. Nothing really special about it. It's what is it? Because I'm gonna give you guys the frame data and everything, so everything is known to you. Where's down 1-1? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's 12 frame startup, and it's -13 on block. This one is. The whole thing is negative 13. If you do the first part, no matter about the delay or not, the first part is negative 16. So you have to be very cautious about using this almost at all. It's not really good as a whip punish either. It's got some decent range on it, but the counter hit is kind of risky to even get. Let me see what it looks like on counter hit. So they kind of get flushed. So it depends on you. If you want to do the full thing or get the counter hit and knock down, just follow pressure. That's up to you. But yeah, that move is not too important to use. Use it wisely if you want to fish for counter hits, but don't really abuse it. Poison Rosette. Okay, this is one of the bigger and most important attacks she has, and in so many different ways. Okay, down 2 is 19 frames, and it's negative 16 on block, and I believe plus 3 on hit. Now down 2 has amazing range, as you can see. And when you're fishing and counter hits, this move will just, look at that. Beautiful counter hit on your opponents. And as I showed you earlier, you can use it to tech catch with this on wake up. For wake up attacks, or if they side roll and you want to chase them late. One thing important about this, and I'm going to break a lot of the moves down on this differently because it goes into stances and whatnot as well. Okay, so very good range, good on counter hit. On hit, it's plus 3 and it puts them in crouch. On block, it's negative 16. It still puts them in crouch. But if you do the block, you have to follow with the 4. Now, the down 2-4 on hit and block is really unsafe, but you have 2 options from it. You can just, do nothing and go into mana stance, which gives you good options. Now, don't forget, you're unsafe. So, you're in this stance and they can attack you. Now, I haven't gotten to this stance yet, but you can actually hold back to block in this stance. So, depending on what your opponent does to punish. And then you have 3. Now, down 2-4-3, the full string is negative 14. Now, when you do the move, your options are to either do down 2-4 and hold down, which goes into Tarantula stance. Now, if you look at your range, you're a little bit farther than you are in mana stance. So, using that as a good option just to pressure your opponent and get away. One thing I want to mention about this opponent is you really want to do a lot of running away and just keep out poking. You want to annoy the hell out of your opponent, so when you land those counter hits, it pays off big. Like I said, you want to make risks, but you want to do them in the right space. She's not a character that's really good at this range, except with certain pokes. She's really good at this range here, the back 1+2 range, which is probably a few more moves ahead. But yeah, you want to stay within this, and this is also good for like a down forward 3 range, or down forward 4. No, sorry, down forward 3. Down forward 3 range. So you want to stay around this so you can just whip punish a lot, with down 2 and attacks like that. Okay, so anyway, yeah, down 2. When you do down 2, you do get a guaranteed back 3. Let me see. I even do believe it crushes wake up lows as well. I mean, not crushes, but it beats, yeah. So it'll also beat wake up lows. So if you're trying to bait out a low, you can also use that. Yeah, so this move guarantees a lot of stuff, and of course the whole thing on counter hit is really good. It doesn't combo there, but they can't move away from it. Yeah, let me see if they can like quick side roll. I've never had anybody actually escape that when I've done it on counter hit, because I always do the 3. Let me just find out so I can educate myself too. Let me try a quick side roll or something. Oh, okay. So I guess if you put them on side roll, that training version doesn't let you do it as a full combo, but you can see a combo's there. Okay. Training is weird like that. Okay, and let me see. Okay, so I talked about the 2 stances you want to use in that. Also, I'm not in mana stance yet. I mean, transfer stance yet. But when you're like that, if you do 4, you're kind of doing the same combo on the ground. So you can do down 2-4, and instead of finishing with down 2-4-3, you're on the ground, and you can poke with 4-3 from here. So it's kind of like doing the combo in 2 different ways. And of course, when you're on the ground, you can do 4 and stay holding down, so you can kind of like just poke with that Scorpion Sting move. Okay, this move, down 2 is also really good at, like I said, like I showed you earlier with like forward 4 and everything, it's guaranteed. It's also really good at catching back rolling opponents. It's really, really, really good for that. So let me see if I can show you this. Let me try to show a combo. Oh, that's actually weird. I didn't even know that worked. But let me just see if I can show you. Yeah, just, and I think you won't get the down 2-3 combo with the back roll, but you'll get the down 2-4. So you'll be like, oh, sorry. Yeah, you won't even get that. Okay. So you can finish with that. Yeah, see, now you're just staying back. Okay. There is something I wanted to mention about this move too. I think if they, let me see if I can show you the combo. I think if they side roll. I got him a quick side roll. Let me see if side roll right. Let me see something. Yeah, the down 2 will hit again. And there's also, I don't know how it works sometimes, you can do down 2-4 to catch on the side. And if you're near them, the move will get on the side and the 4-3 parts will hit as well. I don't know, but it's not something I want to waste video time on. But you can do that too. Let me go back, yeah, on the side roll. Okay, the last thing I want to show about this move is something that's very important in mix-up strategy. Okay, so if you land, let me do it without counter hit. If you land down 2, forward 3, that's not a full combo. Only down 2-4 is. But if you do land, let's say they block down 2-4 and you land a 3, so you're gonna get that floating state. Something important you should know is if you do that move and do 3, the hitbox is low, so it's gonna pick them up. So you'll be doing a combo like this. Now I want to try to show you something. I want to kind of be away from the wall to show you this. But let me just show you this real quick. Oh, damn. Oh, sorry. Look at that. She has 107 or 106 by herself. Just say you were to land that whole thing. Of course, if you do the whole thing, they just kind of stay this way, which you get like, you know, some Oki attacks if they do that way. But the thing about it is they're going to block the down 2-4 majority of the time. If you do the 3 and they're pressing buttons, you're going to get that float. And what you want to do is, if you land it, you want to do 3 to catch them and then 1+2 from this scarecrow stance here. So let me just stay away and show you what it'll look like. I forgot that 4 covers great range. Okay, so let's say they block those 2 parts and this last part hits. The 3 will catch them even if it's late. Now, there are very few characters like Alex, Sebastian, Wang, I think Roger, and True Ogre. Those characters, the 3 will not hit. So what you have to do to float them is do down forward 1. Yeah, like that. You have to do down for 1 to pick those characters up. And you could do down for 1 into bound. So, you know, you'd be doing it like that and boom, bound. And you just got them by the wall. So that's very important into using that move a lot. That's one of your most important strings. And down 2 is one of your key moves. So you're using that a lot with holding down or deciding in your mix-ups. So that's very important. Alright, let's move on. That's a very important move I want to talk about. Alright, Earwing Piercer. This is one of her key pokes. And one of the key moves you'll be using a lot, but this move is not to be abused. It's very slow startup. And you can get hop kicked out of it a lot, and it can be sidewalked. So be very careful of using it. Let's see, we gotta go to the next page. Okay, so down 3 is 22 frames. It's -13 on block and +4 on hit. On counter hit, it does float like this, and you can do a wall standing 4 attack to follow up with it. Is there anything else with it? As I go along moves, I want to talk about combos that you can do with the moves as well. That's why I can cover combos without having to do a combo section. It takes too long. Okay, yeah, no. It's just a while standing forward with that. Otherwise than that, you can do the move and hold down so you stay in mana stance. So now you can chase them on the ground with Oki attacks. So you can do that and hold down and, you know, just keep staying close to the opponent. If you don't do anything from that, she actually does rise. So you can get some wild standing attacks from that. Really good options there. Another thing that makes this move very important is you want to do a lot of, I believe they call it sidestep, crouch canceling. Like do this sidestep down 3. You want to do a lot of that to catch your opponent. And I'll show you a reason why. Let me see if I can put him on, not side roll, but let me put him on back roll or stand. I'll try back roll. This will work a lot on your opponent. They're pressing a lot of buttons. So if you land the counter hit and do it again, you'll get him in like, let me see if I can do it fast enough. No, it doesn't work on back roll. Okay, let me try, is it quick side roll or something? I don't know. Okay, no. I think it's, I think it does work on back roll, it's just not working here. I've had some people try to do attacks, but if they do like a wake up kick, or if they just try to stand up, you get that, well, you get that double counter if they do that. Let me just show you the other way. I think it's if they try to stand up. They won't majority of the time. I know it works on back roll, it's just not working on the training mode. You're gonna get, wow, why isn't that working? I don't know. Let me I put my stand guard? I don't know. I'm not trying to waste video time, but it's just something important you should know. Alright, let me have her do it. Because it's not working when I'm doing it. Let me try standing. Yeah, I'm using the right move, right? Alright, it's not seeming to work right now, but basically what she can do is she can do crouch cancel on counter hit, and then crouch cancel again down 3, and it'll kind of hit them when they're turned around, so they'll be crouching backwards when they turn around, so it's kind of like it stops them from rolling. So basically you have them in like back turns, so you can get some pressure attacks before they turn around. Like you can get a back throw or something before they can tech it. It's not working. It worked the last time I tried the video, but I don't know. I'm not going to waste video time showing it, but if I upload one of my matches later, you'll see it. I do it in the matches. I just don't remember what the opponent does to tech to get it. But otherwise than that, yeah, it's just very key move for poking. Getting a nice, pretty good range. A good way to use it too is to kind of know the range of it, and then kind of just whiff it so your opponent is looking for it, and then you can get mana stance mix-ups from that. It's pretty good at the wall as well. And let's see here. You can also use it. Let me see. I have to get further away to show you this, but. I did that one wrong. You can also use it to catch opponents like trying to roll or track, which is something else I forgot to mention about 1+2. In some combos, if you're like on a really long stage and your Zafina can't dash far enough, you can use 1+2 to crush them to the floor just to keep pressuring them with Oki attacks before they're able to get out. It works a lot on people who are trying to tag crash. So I'm just going to try to show you this real quick. And so you can just, you know, pressure 1+2 there to just do like that. Just keep them on the ground, and then you can do like down 3 and whatnot. Just keep them floated. It really works on wall list stages. Okay, E-Curve. This move is, I kind of use down 4 now as a key move. It's a move you should be using more when you're closer. This is the only key move you want to be using at this range next to down 3. Okay, down 4 is, I believe, what, 17 frames. It's not going to get blocked very often, but when it is blocked, it's only -6. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I'm sorry. The whole string is -6, but if you do the down 4 and it's blocked, it's -13, and it's -2 on hit. Now, you have a delay with 3 there, as you can see. Now, the 3, if they block the high, which they'll rarely do, but if they do, it's -6, so you're still in the green light. Now, this move is really strong for whiff punishing up close. Like if you're trying to just get your opponent to press something, you're jabbing and you're opening up. The counter hit property on this is really good. You see them grab their leg, and that's a good cue that they gave for that, because you can see you can delay the 3, and the 3 will give you that. On top of that, I want to mention that this move does tag. So if you ever land the counter hit. Otherwise not, just use it to kind of poke and just stay in. But yeah, if you physically see the counter leg, that's your option. So you can see the kick there. And then you give yourself time to delay the 3. Or if you weren't sure you landed it and you don't want to just do this, it's like, okay, I see they landed it, but I didn't do the 3 when they grabbed their leg. Then you can just, continue pressuring. So yeah, that's, I think it's a pretty good key move for her. Something you want to use when you're close, but otherwise not be very careful with it. It is slow. It won't get blocked often, but it's kind of risky to use up close too much, but it's pretty good. It's kind of like Fang's down 4. Like that, kind of just something you want to use when you're close. Alright, backhand thrust. I already talked about this move earlier in the trick. Yeah, so I mentioned it was 13 frames. It's +3 on hit, -9 on block. It's good on counter hit. Free down 2. Follow up back 1 plus down for 1 plus 2, that kind of stuff. The one thing I want to mention about this move that's really important. It's okay in whip punishing, and just the range isn't strong, so you don't want to use it. You'll get whip punished a lot yourself. The way you want to use this move. Can I go position settings? Okay, so I'll put on reverse. Alright, so the way you want to use this move a lot is you want to be careful when you're by the wall. But down back 2 is really good at getting you out of the wall. Because if you can see, if your opponent leaves open and they block, it's at -9, so you can still get a slight sidestep just to get away from the wall. If you hit, don't sidestep that way, sorry. But yeah, you just get away from the wall. So don't do that and try to follow up pressure, because you're gonna get yourself attacked. Just use this move to get away as much as you can. Down 4 is also pretty good for that if they're trying to pressure you into something. So instead of doing the 3, you can follow it with a throw. But those are the only really good options you want to use by the wall. You don't want to get too insane by the wall, you get caught. That's another thing I forgot to mention in general strategy. You want to be creative with this character. You want to use everything. She's not really a less is more character. It's really good to use everything. You just have to use everything smart. But yeah, being creative with her can make you very difficult to defeat. You have to use a lot of things that people don't see too often. That's the best way to use her. If you have a game plan that sticks around certain moves, they're eventually going to catch on to your game plan and you're going to lose. You have to really mix everything up. Like, let's say you're doing this into down 3, which is something I want to mention about down 3. You want to use that move a lot in jab pressure mix-ups. Let me just get back to where I was at. You want to use that's a good way to use down 3. It's just kind of like pressure mix-ups. Like, say you did this instead of down 3. Instead of doing 2-1-3, you delayed it. You just did that, and while rising attack. It's a good way to pressure. You just have to be very creative. Like I say, you did this, and they're expecting that. Then you can mix this up, which I'll get into in a few minutes. That's pretty much, the goal with this character. Just be one of those. Just stay back, do a lot of pokes, look for openings. Just be creative, and play smart. So that's backhand thrust. Akina's, this move isn't too useful. It's a pretty good low poke. I wouldn't call it a key move. It's really risky to use. It's I believe it's 17 frame startup? Down back 3. Down 2 for dimension. Yeah, down back 3. Okay, yeah, it should be in the move list here. Okay, yeah, it's 18 frame startup. It's -8 on block and it's +3 on hit. Does it do anything on counter hit? No. Okay. It goes in a stance. It does. I guess it's pretty good on the ground too. I wouldn't use it for that though, but pretty good poke to use closely. If you're kind of mixing your options up. If you hold back, it's -9 on block and +2 on hit, so that's a downfall. But otherwise than that, not really something you want to use much. But don't forget it's there. I remind your opponent of it every once in a while. You can mix up and get crazy, get very crafty with it. But otherwise than that, it's not really abusable. Down 4 is actually better because it's 17 frames compared to this, which is 18 frames. So that's really just the only thing you really want to use that move for. Euphrates Cannon. This is definitely an important move. What was this? Down 1, down 2, down 4. Okay, I was just looking back at some notes I had. Okay. This is one of the most important moves you will be using with this character. Down back 4 in itself is 21 frames, it's negative 13 on block and plus 4 on hit. It's kind of hard to tell the difference, but on block, the move is negative 13, and then on counter hit, it looks almost the same, but you get a launcher. So what you have to do is, I had to do this earlier in training before I decided to make the guide. But if you notice, I don't know if you can, you have to kind of get close to your screen and notice this. But if you notice there, she's kind of looking down. If you notice the counter hit version, she's kind of looking forward. It's kind of hard to see that in a fight, to physically see that over and over again, because like how fast the screen moves. Because she doesn't do much difference, she's just looking forward the other time around. So basically, this move is a risk. It's very important, but it's a risk. Because it's kind of hard to physically see her looking down or forward in the speed of the game. So she's going to do this. If it's blocked, you're going to get, you know, negative 13. But if it's counter hit, it's great attack. And of course, you can tag out and take red health if you want to. By the wall, it's not really important. Another thing to mention about this move, it's pretty good poke, but it's 21 frames, so a very sharp player will see it. Also, you can hold down with this attack to go into mana stance. You can also use this move. Don't use it as a lead attack. You can use it to side step cancel as well, side crouch cancel. But don't use down 4 as a leading attack. Use it like if you're doing down 3 and then down back 4 too, which is actually a good way to get the counter hit. In case they try to do a while standing attack, you can catch them real fast with that. So there's not much to talk about the move. It's just a very important move. It's something you want to use a lot in the matchup. Like I said, be very smart. And more often than not, they're gonna be holding block. And if you're not sure you got the counter hit, a good way to use it is just to go for a throw. But yeah, that's really why you want to use that move. Sirush. This move, down back 1+2/2, it's pretty decent by catching people rolling on the ground and by the wall. Best way I can say to use it. Let's see, it's in the move list, right? Yeah, it's 28 frames. It's negative 14 on block. But it does high crush very well. And if you get underneath it, you can get in mana stance. You can do down 3, 1. So you'll be doing this: mana stance down 3, 1, and mana stance down 1, 4. So that's how you want to do that, and you get 54 damage just off landing this. And yes, that move, that last kick, does wall splat your opponent. So that's like I was saying, you know, be creative. You can use pokes and then just kind of whip punish with this. Get underneath and just kind of, you know, move after your opponent. Chase them down with down for 1+2 for tech catches. You just really want to be really innovative when you use that move, but don't abuse it. The only important part of it is the first part. If it is blocked, just continue it. It is a mid, but it's unsafe all around. So you only want to use it in situations where you're sure it's going to hit at whip punish range. Don't ever complete it. Like on hit, don't really complete it. Why would you do 134 when you can do the 54 with the move I showed you? So that's pretty much all you really want to use that move for. On top of that, if you do it, you can also just hold down and stay in mana stance. You know, move around in that. But of course, if you land the move, you don't want to stay in the stance. You know, just do the attack, the combo afterwards. Curse's Crow. This is one of the most important moves you'll have as well. Back 1 is a very important attack. It's +5 on hit. It's 22 frame startup. It's +7 on hit. Okay, never mind, the wrong move. Okay, yeah, Curse Crow. 18 frame startup. It's negative 11 on block and +5 on hit. Okay. This move is really, really good on counter hit. It's probably the move I use the most on counter hit. It's a good move, like if you're close, you can kind of make interesting pressure options, like if you could do like this, 2-2, back 1, you know, interesting pressure options like that. And if they try to attack you in any way, that crush is going to happen. Now, if you do get the hit, it's +5, so you can tack on some pressure. You can tack on the throw. You can tack on the the high-low mix-up I showed you, stay in crouch. That's pretty much how important that move is. It does hit on the ground, like it's kind of a low-hitting mid, but you don't really want to use it for that when you have good OP options. Oh yeah, and I did want to mention with down 3-4. If you did see the first part of the video, like I said, with if you do the 2-4-4 and get the full combo, down 4-3 is really good to get the follow-up. Pretty sure you would have watched the first part already, but I'm just mentioning. So yeah, as far as back one's concerned, it's a very important fishing for counter hit move. But otherwise than that, not too much to talk about there, but it's very important. I use it a lot, so it's one of my favorites. It's also really good at dealing, in some cases, at dealing with capos. And just having opponents who are like just trying to rush you down. It's really good at trying to, I'm not going to say bait out, but it's really good at dealing with electrics as well. Not to bait it out, but to get just, to whiff it and just crush with that is really good. Just so you can get in with that +5. Accretional Stomp. This is another one of the key moves that she has. It's very important, but it's very situational. It's slow, but the move is really strong in whip punishing in certain situations. Like you can kind of be standing here looking to just mess around, and just if you land it, boom, it's good. It knocks down on counter. It knocks down on natural hit. Like I showed you can follow up if they try to side roll with down for 1+2. You can also track attacks. You can down 4. You can catch your opponents. What is she on? Stand up. If they try to side roll, there's nothing guaranteed unless you do like down 3 or something like that. It's also really good. That's what I forgot to mention too. With down back 4 too. But I'll see if I can show you in this. That move is really good at after certain attacks to catch wake up attacks. So yeah, that's something else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, this move here, really good at catching wake up attacks, and you get a full combo from it. Okay. Let me take wake up low kick off. So yeah, that's pretty much all this move is really good for. It's okay by the wall. It's -3 on block. So it's really good to keep pressuring your opponent with. It's 24 frames. So yeah, like I said, be careful. And it's really strong on Oki. So if you knock your opponent down, like I said, if you do counter hit down 2, you get a free down 3 with that. In some cases, you'll see like some of the Korean Zafina players doing that in the back 3. But they can front roll. They can front roll away from that. So don't try to get used to it. I mean, don't try to do it that way off the down back 2 counter hit. Yeah, see if they roll, they can do it. But if they try to, most of your opponents are usually going to try to back roll away from that. Oh, sorry. I see that won't work, but I mean, you don't gain a disadvantage. So there's something I wanted to mention there. But yeah, that's one of the moves I like to use a lot. Be careful with using it in whip punishing though. Otherwise than that, it's just a really good move at the wall and just keeping your opponent on the ground. Tiamat's Tail. This move is very, very important. Okay, so first thing we need to talk about is, let me see, it's 22 frames, -14 on block. Now that's -14 if you do the whole string. So if you do back 4, I want you to see something here. The move's hitbox is very active late. So I get further back, and you can, let me see if I can get to the best range. And you can see how it's like kind of active late there. So it'll still kick. Like that. And it's natural on hit, which is 53 damage. On counter hit and on rage, it does pretty high damage. It's really good ender in some wall combos. Let me see if I can show you a different kind of combo as well. You also want to use this as a combo in like shorter attacks. Like if your attack partner is closer to you, then it'll combo. But otherwise than that, it's decent in wall combo. It's decent in combo enders. But the thing about this move, it does track. It does track pretty well. The first part is actually -9 on block. And on hit doesn't matter because if you see the hit confirm, just finish it. You can delay it, but the delay they can actually block and it's -14 still. So this move you really want to kind of whiff punish with. I use it a lot when my opponent is trying to just rush me down with strings and attacks. I'll kind of option out between back 1+2 and then back 4/4. So yeah, good combo in there, really good whiff punisher. Safe on block if you do the first part, and like I said, the kick is very active late, so it'll catch your opponent trying to come in later to catch you. It also, because it's active, low like this is on the ground, it's good to catch rolling opponents, but you don't really want to use it for that. But otherwise than that, yeah, really good move, and I like the fact that it's 53 damage just for hitting naturally. So that's a move you definitely want to remind your opponent that you have. You can dead button it too. You know, you're at a negative 9, so they block it. Now you can get a throw, or you know, mix of option. So let's see what else we got. Ena's Fury. I've been using this move all over the guide so far. Okay, this is her most important key move. It's actually a 16 frame move. So I didn't mention it in 16. Did I talk about 16 frame punishes? No, I don't think I did. For 16 frame punishes, I went all the way to 14 frame, I believe, on punishes. For a 15 frame punish, she has down forward 2, which I did mention earlier. And then for 60 frames, this is one of the most important. And there's 2 other ones as well, but I'll mention those when I get to them. Okay, so this is probably the last move I have time to talk for right now. Now I got time to talk about 2 more moves. Okay, so back 1+2 is a very important key move. You want to use this move also in crouching. So if you're doing something like this, it's a good way to mix that in there. This move is -7 on hit, which sounds bad, but it's not. On counter hit, it doesn't really do anything different. Just the same thing. The range is really good, and like I said, this is the key range you want to be at with this character. Because as far as movement, she's a female character, so she does have the backflip. So you can kind of get a lead poke, and then backflip, and then just be, you know, just be a little bitch and just be back here. Your opponent's going to come and get their shit pushed in by, you know, down 3s and whatnot. So you want to be very careful with how you act after it. Now, the thing about it is, because it's -7, you do not get follow-up pressure. If you do, you will be hit by an opponent trying a wake-up attack or a sidestep wake-up attack, like a cross cancel, and you'll be baited into it. So use this move carefully. You want to use it a lot. You know, if they're standing, just do it. You know, it's best I can tell you about that is you just really want to use it a lot. But if you get into a pattern of using it as like the only attack, they will begin to gas stuff the hell out of it. So just be like, all right, let me mix that up. He's going to start to crouch it, then mix with this, and then you can try throwing it maybe down 4 and then start using it again. Because it pushes you at good range. On block, it's like -20 something. Otherwise than that, it won't get blocked too often unless you're just abusing it all day. You know, just be very careful how much you abuse it. Just make them know it's there. But if you abuse it and you get it blocked, that's your bad. So just, yeah, like I said, -7 on hit. It cannot be punished as far as on hit. If you do this on hit, they cannot punish it because unless they have a 16 frame wake up attack, they can't punish it. And on top of that, she's pushed too far at range when you use it correctly, so no one's going to be able to punish that unless you move forward and try to pressure afterwards. Like if you're doing this and you're trying to get in, then you're going to get pressured by a wake up attack, like I said. So very important key move. It does track a little bit if you try to sidestep. It's also good at tracking rolls, and it's good, like I said earlier, to catch moves on endless stages, just to keep your opponent floored. You know, catch them with, I messed that up. I'm just showing a little combo here just to track them on the floor, and then you can do that. It also does hit the opponents if they're trying to tag out. So let's say they have like no health left and you use that move, it'll kill someone trying to tag out. Alright, I got one more move to talk about before I have to cut the video for part 3. And that's, I forgot to talk about back fist. Let me see, it's in here, yeah. I forgot to talk about it completely. Okay, back fist, back 2. This move is really good on counter hit. You get a full combo there. It's 22 frame startup, it's -8 on block, and it's +7 on hit. Otherwise than that, it does track, as you can see the hand. You can't really see it on the stage, but it does track. Otherwise than that, you can kind of fish for it. It's not a super important move, it's very slow. But as far as it being really good on counter hit and safe on block, just be careful with how you use it. So that's all we have time for now in this video. Part 3 should cover up the rest of the move list, and then part 4 should cover stances. I'm pretty sure I have to get to a part 4. So thank you guys for watching again, and part 3 coming up.